I'm going to make a couple of recipes today that include black beans. So I'm making some black beans. I've got a half a white onion floating in here. I'm about to crack open a couple of teeth of garlic. I know you say clove, but in Mexican cooking it's dientes. It's teeth. And they look like teeth. Well, not my teeth, but anyway. So I'm gonna crack a couple of these open and throw them in there as well, and add just a little bit more flavor to the beans. This will come out before I serve. But anyway, I'm going to make one recipe that involves refried beans. So I'm going to make some refried beans later as well. And they've got, that recipe has a recipe for refried beans. So I'm going to follow their recipe. It's a new recipe for me. And work on that. But the other thing I'm going to make is a spicy black bean soup. And I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm thinking I got that recipe out of New York Times, but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to, I'll check that too. But anyway, making the black beans now. This will boil for hour and a half, maybe hour and 15 anyway, and then I'm going to add some salt in and some cilantro and let it go another 15 minutes, and then I'll take the cilantro out and the onion and the garlic out, and then I'll make some refried beans. So I'll see you back when we're getting ready to get the other recipes going. Okay, we came to a rolling boil, and now I'm simmering. It'll be going for about an hour and 15 minutes. There's about an hour and 2 minutes left on the timer. After that, we'll check it for tenderness, either add another 15 minutes, or we will add the salt and the cilantro and go another 15 minutes with that. Okay, so we're either going to add another 15 minutes without the salt and cilantro and then an additional 15 minutes with the salt and cilantro, or we're just going to add the salt. Anyway, have black beans in about an hour and 20 minutes. All right, the timer's about to go off, and we'll check and see how we're doing here. The beans are soft. We'll go ahead and add the salt and cilantro. We'll let it go a little longer. Alexa, add another 15. Alexa, start a 15-minute timer.
15 minutes, starting now.
Okay. We've hit our 15 minutes. Put these beans again. Yep, that's better. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add the salt. Tablespoon of salt and a pound of beans, and I realized I did not have a sprig of cilantro. I got some parsley and honey cilantro, so I've got some cilantro paste, and I'm gonna put about a sprig's worth in. And this is actually out of our garden. It's in a regular cilantro thing, but I can tell by the crumble level that this is out of our garden that we dried. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this in as well as a paste, and put that steep in there. And I'm going to stir that in a little bit. All right, we're going to go another 15 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
And that'll finish up our beans, and then we'll be ready to proceed with our rest of our recipes. All right, see you back here in 15 minutes. All right, it's been another 15 minutes. Let's see where we are. Cilantro and salt are in here. That's good. I'm going to take it off the heat. I should go ahead and let it simmer down. And then we're going to transfer it into, we're going to drain it and then transfer it in here. And we'll be ready to use this pot for the next recipe. I never drain all the water off because I can use that water for some other recipes. Onion out. See, we're almost dumped it. See, we're ready to go with the black beans. And then we'll be making our next recipe soon. All right, thanks so much. We'll see you in a minute when I get to, I believe I'm going to be starting with the spicy black bean soup. All right, see you then. Okay, I made the black beans. Frijoles de olla, black beans from the pot recipe that I like. And now I'm going to make, for the first time I've ever made this, a spicy black bean soup. Spicy black bean soup. So be interested in how this goes. It's got cocoa in it and some other things. Just been open yet? Okay, so what I need is 3 3/4 cups of black beans. These are freshly made. One, two, three, one, two, and 3. Right. All right, next step is to add 1 16-ounce jar of the mild salsa, and this is salsa verde. I'm using a roasted. This is actually a medium, but I like my stuff, well, it's a spicy soup, so. All right, so 1 jar. Diced green chilies, 4-ounce can. And then we need the tablespoon of the unsweetened cocoa. Cocoa powder, I'm going to get a tablespoon of that. This would bring an interesting flavor to the soup for sure. All right. Okay, and 1 teaspoon of ground cumin and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Okay. And 1 teaspoon of the garlic powder. That measures out a little easier than cumin. Get that mixed together. Alright. Nicely combined. So we're going to turn up on a medium-high heat and bring it to a boil. Alright, it actually says do it on high heat, so we'll bring it up on high heat to a boil. Then we're going to cover it and lower it to a simmer and let it go for 10 minutes. So this is going to come to a boil, and then we'll be back. Actually, right at the end of the 10 minutes of simmering, I'll fade back into you. All right, see you then. All right, my timer's done, so we're ready for the next step. We're going to take it off the heat. It smells very nice. You need a potato smasher. If you have an immersion blender, you can use that. I use a potato smasher. It's also how I make my refried beans. And what we're doing now, let's see if you can even see this. All right, so you got some sauce in there and the beans and all that stuff. What we're doing is, as we smash this, it increases the thickness of the broth. Okay, you get it to the thickness that you like. Remembering that as it sits, it's going to thicken. The salsa verde actually has some pectin in it, which adds to thickening as well as it's cooling. So it'll thicken over a little bit of time. So you want to remember that as you're trying to get your optimal soup consistency. Now this recipe that I'm doing here is actually half a recipe because I'm home alone for a week or so. And so I'm only making like 3 to 5 servings. It normally makes 8 to 10 servings if you double everything that I just did. So I took the recipe and halved everything. If you double it, you're at the original recipe. Alright. So for me, just about reached the thickness I would like. Especially if it's going to thicken up a little bit more as time goes on. Okay. Now this is my first time. Sorry for all that noise. This is my first time making it, so I'm not sure exactly how it's going to come out. Now, as I was making the black beans, I said that I didn't have any cilantro, and I still don't have any cilantro. So out of my garden, we grew some cilantro this year and in our herb garden, and we dried a bunch of it, and we've got some bottles of that. So I'm going to use 1/8 of a cup. It calls for 1/4 of a cup of chopped cilantro. I'm going to use 1/8 of a cup of the dry cilantro. Dry cilantro is a little bit more potent than the other, but what I am going to do is I'm going to take a quarter cup, and I'm going to chop up some parsley to give it that look, and I kind of like parsley. So I'm going to have a 1/4 cup of chopped parsley, including some of the more tender stems. And I'm going to add that into my soup as well. Now for topping, grated cheese. I use a fiesta blend of cheese for most of my Hispanic style Mexican cooking. There you go, that's a 1/4 cup. Put that in there. And that's nice on a soup like this, kind of just, oops, it's still hot, it's an electric stove. That's nice for a soup like this. Yeah, That's going to give me the look I'm going for. You can, obviously sour cream would work real well with this. Tortilla chips, or a tortilla chip laid on top as a garnish. Sliced radishes work well with this kind of thing. You could put, maybe you don't want to go with pico de gallo, but you could probably go with the pico de gallo. That might work too. So, whatever you like will work. All right. Give this a taste. Here's my taste spoon. Let's see what we think. That's nice. I like that. You can taste the salsa verde in there. The beans are good. I'm getting some of that cilantro. I would say cilantro. It's cilantro. Get some of that cilantro. The cumin is definitely coming out. I'm not getting the cocoa. I don't want to stick the spoon back in there. I'm not getting the cocoa. I was hoping to get more of that. Maybe as it mellows out a little bit, we'll get some of that. But anyway, a spicy black bean soup. And I will serve that up for dinner tonight with some tortilla chips, maybe a sliced up radish, definitely some melted fiesta blend cheese on top, and it'll make for a nice dinner. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I not only do Mexican cooking, I do vegan cooking, which this is actually vegan until I throw the cheese on there. I do vegan cooking, and I also brew kombucha, and I brew beer, and all that can be found on my channel. All right, hope to talk to you soon. Bye.